Part 2 of Goa and the Pot. Goa took the pots and cooked a delicious banquet. The next morning, Goa returned to the miser's house. When he answered the door, he saw Goa standing there with both of his pots and two smaller pots tucked inside. The miser was aghast and asked, "Is that yet another two pots? But how?" Goa responded empathetically, "You're in luck again. Your pots both gave birth. This seems to happen whenever I borrow pots. Thank you so much for the loan, and congratulations on your new arrivals." The miser began to wonder if there might be something magical about this ordinary peasant. A few days passed, and the miser heard a knock at the door. Again, it was Goa. "My whole family has just arrived to celebrate the wedding of my daughter. I am expecting 50 guests. I know it's a terrible inconvenience, but may I borrow 3 large cooking pots?" The miser now knew that Goa was sure to return with double the amount of pots that he lent him. "Of course. Come in, my dear friend Goa." The miser led him to the kitchen and gave him every pot he owned. Goa labored under the weight of all the pots. He had a large pot filled with smaller pots under each arm, 2 additional pots hanging from his fingertips, and because there was no other way to carry it, he wore the lid to the tangine on his head. So all the lids went on top of his head as the pots went in between the smaller pots and the larger pots. Passerbys were shocked to see Goa carrying all of the miser's pots. "It is my honor to loan my pots to you, dear Goa," the miser shouted, loud enough to be heard by all. "Enjoy your feast and congratulations to your daughter." As the miser shut his door, he mused to himself that the villagers were such fools. They would think of him as kind and generous without even knowing what he's getting in return. The next day, the miser waited and waited for Goa to return his pots. Goa did not return. The miser thought, that maybe Goa's guests were having an extended stay. Days passed, which soon turned into a week. After 2 weeks, the miser wanted his pots back. He decided to go to Goa's house. The miser approached Goa's front door and knocked as loud as he could. Goa answered, seemingly annoyed, and asked, "How may I help you?" The miser, surprised by Goa's apparent forgetfulness, asked, "Where are my pots? You promised to bring them back the next day, and here it has been weeks. I need my pots." Goa noticed that the miser brought a cart and donkey, in our times a U-Haul truck, to take all of the pots back, expecting to receive double what he had loaned. Goa said, "I am ashamed to address you." "What has happened? What have you done?" the miser demanded. "All of your pots have passed away in childbirth. I'm sorry for your loss." That means he has no more pots. "Are you mad? Pots cannot die. That is the most ridiculous thing that I have ever heard. I demand that you return my pots. I will summon the village elders if I have to." Goa, in a very matter-of-fact tone, retorted, My dear sir, it is possible for pots to die in the same way it is possible for them to give birth. Call the elder if you must. Tell them that I return 2 pots for each pot that you loaned to me. Tell them that you believe your pots were given birth. Tell them that you loaned all of your pots to me, expecting to be reimbursed with double what you loaned. Yes, yes. Call the village elders and tell them all of your greed. Astonished, the old miser backed away from Goa's door. He grabbed the donkey and returned home with his empty cart. The next morning, the peasant woman awoke to find a stack of shiny brass pots at her door. Goa watched her excitement with satisfaction. They really were fine pots. That concludes the reading of Goa and the Pots and part 2 of video 2. I hope you enjoyed. Dr. B.